So let's take a trip back to 1974. Reverend Sun Myung Moon is in New York City, and he gives this absolutely crucial speech that basically becomes the blueprint for his entire mission. It's part sermon, part bottle plan, and it leads out this huge world-changing vision. We're going to break down what he said and what it all meant.
Right out of the gate, he sets the tone. This isn't about tweaking the system or joining something that already exists. Nope. The whole point is that they are on a totally different path, one that's completely separate from everyone else. This idea that they are unique, that they're different, is the foundation for everything that follows.
All right, so Section 1, what exactly does he mean by a different new road? Well, Moon's first big argument is that his group is a trailblazer, forging a brand new path guided directly by God's will. Now, this is really clever. He gets ahead of any criticism right here. He says, look, any group that just goes with the flow, nobody gives him a hard time. But when you're creating something totally new, you are definitely going to face opposition. It's inevitable. And what this does is flip the script. For his followers, any persecution they face isn't a bad thing. It's proof, it's validation that they're on the right track. Okay, so if their path is the right one, what's wrong with the old ones? This is where Moon explains the problem his movement is here to solve. And in his eyes, the problem is that mainstream Christianity has totally failed. He says it's hit a spiritual dead end. And you can really see the contrast he's drawing here. He paints established churches as being stuck, fragmented into all these different groups, and way too focused on just saving yourself, individual salvation. His group, on the other hand, is on a higher dimension road. Their goal is way, way bigger, to unify and save the entire world. This quote just nails it. The mission isn't supposed to be small or local. It has to be global. He's arguing that to really be in tune with God, you have to think bigger than borders and tackle the problems of all of humanity. That's the new dimension he's talking about. So you have this incredibly ambitious goal, world salvation. What does that demand from the people who join? Well, it demands everything. This brings us to the absolute core of his philosophy, a doctrine of total escalating sacrifice. He actually calls it the Great Secret Formula, and you can think of it like a ladder. First, you sacrifice your individual needs for your family, okay? But then you have to be willing to sacrifice your family for the nation. And then you have to sacrifice the nation for the world. It's a pretty radical idea where ultimately every single personal tie you have comes second to the global mission. And just how extreme are we talking? Well, this quote right here is intense. He's literally talking about parents leaving their children behind to go serve the church. I mean, it's chilling. It shows you the kind of absolute, almost brutal commitment that was required. Your most basic human connections had to be cut if they got in the way. So where is this great battle for the world going to be fought? Moon points to a very specific place. The front line, the main battlefield, is the United States of America. He paints this picture of America as a nation on the absolute brink of total collapse, which, in 1974 probably hit home for a lot of people. And his diagnosis is super specific. He points to what he sees as 3 key symptoms of this decay. First, spiritual decay. The churches are empty. Second, social decay. Families are falling apart. And third, moral decay. Look at all the young people on drugs. You got to remember the context here. This is Watergate era, post-Vietnam America. People were anxious. So this message of a nation in crisis, it would have sounded pretty powerful. And the conclusion he draws from all this is just stark. It's absolute. He says America is doomed. There's no way to survive. The government can't fix it. Schools can't fix it. The old religions can't fix it. The only thing that can save the country is a brand new, powerful ideology. And guess what? He's got one. And this is where all that big, abstract talk about saving the world suddenly gets very, very real. The battle for America's soul and the world's soul was about to kick off in one specific city, New York. The immediate target? Madison Square Garden. But this rally he was planning, it wasn't just some event. He framed it as a spiritual D-Day. It was about planting a flag, building a dam to stop what he called the dark flood of decadence and ruin. To his followers, everything, the fate of the nation, the fate of the world, was riding on this. Now, to get his followers into that at-all-costs mindset, he poses this unbelievable question. He imagines this scenario where the crowd trying to get into the event is so huge that people might get crushed, even killed. And then he asks his followers, which is better, a calm event with fewer people or a chaotic, overflowing one? even if it means casualties. It's a truly shocking way to define success. And the whole speech builds to this final, powerful image, which really is the whole message in a nutshell. He tells his followers their job is to give up their individual selves and unite into one single powerful fist. And he, as the leader, will be the one to wield that fist. It's a final dramatic vision of total unity under one leader, aimed at changing the entire world. And it kind of leaves you with a big question, right? What happens when a group of people truly believes that they are the world's last and only hope?